Hey guys, it's your girl Londyn, and today we have another holiday release, and it is from Anastasia Beverly Hills. So if you want to see how the Primrose palette performs, what my thoughts are, then just stick around because we're going to get right into it. Okay guys, first off, let me just tell you, working with cameras and lighting is a big old pain. As you can see, I am trying to work with it, and I think I have it correct, but of course I'm going to go back, I'm going to edit this, I'm going to be like, wrong, wrong, and wrong. So this morning I had to scrap 3 videos, which really suck because I have other videos that I want to shoot, and so I have to go back and redo those 3. But today I decided, you know what? Today's just a day, so I want to have a little bit of fun, kind of relaxing, chilling. So I want to review the Anastasia Beverly Hills Primrose palette for you. This palette just released maybe 2 weeks ago. This is the unicarton, so this is super, super cute. This reminds me of the Milk Cosmetics Millennial Pink unicarton. So I actually do like it. I think it's cute. I love pink, so I was here for it. Primrose immediately just reminded me of Hunger Games, so again, I was here for it. When I saw people use it, I was really here for it because although I was here for it, I didn't think I wanted to buy it because it was $55. Although I have the Norvina palettes, I have most of the Anastasia palettes, really, it really is a collector in me. As far as love of the brand, that has kind of fallen off and by the wayside a long time ago. And the kind of thing that has been really just ran into the ground is the whole Norvina ran ABH into the ground. She did too many launches, this, that, and the other. So they really did oversaturate the market. So when I saw this, although I liked it, I was like, oh, that's cute. I was like, meh, been done before. It kind of looked like the Fenty one. I just, I didn't know if I loved it enough to really get it and invest in it. But like I said, I watched some videos and I was like, okay, this looks pretty good. And people were saying it was a different formula. I don't know if it is or it isn't, but I wanted to go ahead and give it a try. So we have it here today, and here it is. Again, it's just so freaking cute. I absolutely love, love, love it. And then it has like a crisscross pattern. Almost looks like a tufted pillow or a quilt, and you can feel it. It's like embossed with it. So I really like that. It gives it a sleek feel. It gives it a modern feel, but it also gives it kind of a classic elegance feel. I like how they did it on the cardboard because of course they're using the cardboard, but they really tried to elevate the cardboard with that. Here in the corner, they tried to elevate it with having kind of like the little rose gold in the corners as if it were a high quality package or something, high quality plastic packaging or something like that. So I like how they have it in cardboard, but they try to do small detailings to elevate the cardboard and make it seem a little more luxe than what it is. So I can appreciate that. Inside the palette, you do have a mirror. Oh, the little thing is dropped. A mirror. I did not take the plastic thing off it yet. I usually don't use my mirrors inside my palettes anyway, so really doesn't bother me to still have it on there. And then, oh, the whole thing doesn't bend back. So this is the palette. So I think that these are nice colors. I think these are colors that you could wear year round. I think these are colors that you could wear for any event, any occasion. And so overall, I really think it's nice. Now this right here, everybody was thinking that this was a bronzer color because it's significantly deeper than this shade right here. And it actually isn't. These are both blushes. I found that to be very interesting because it's the color, it's called Saddle. They, I believe, do have a bronzer called Saddle. It's significantly warmer than the grapefruit color, which is the quote unquote, which you'd expect a blush color to be. And so I see why people thought that it was a blush color because, or it was a bronzer color because it's so significantly different. And I've watched so many reviews where people are putting it on, they're like, why is this so orange? And why is this not looking like a bronzer? And then it's really because it's also a blush. So I can appreciate that they did a kind of very fair blush, like very, very in the light pink realm, hence grapefruit. And then they did Saddle, something on the other side of the spectrum. So that way when you got this palette, at least there was some sort of shade for maybe a fair to medium complexion and then a medium to deep complexion for the choice of blushes. I think that was nice because if you're going to put blushes in the blush palette, I think that it's appropriate to have blushes that will suit a at least heavy middle tone range of skin tones instead of just fair or just deep, trying to really have some universal shades in there, 2 or 3 at least, so that way a multitude of people can use it. Otherwise, a lot of people won't even get it just because it's like, well, there's already these two big pans that I'm not going to be able to use because they don't suit my skin tone. So I thought that that was good on their part. So we're going to go ahead and go in, and I will put a picture of the palette up here so you guys can see what I'm doing rather than continue to hold it up. I think we're just going to go with a super simple look today. Today, I realized that I really did my bronze thing. I really did my glow look today. I did use the new Hourglass palette today on my face, and I really, really like it. I used the Fenty Hydrating Tinted Moisturizer, whatever it is, in 340. And I feel like it really gave me the glow that I've been looking for, because clearly we're not tan right now. We're going into we're in the fall. We're going to be moving into the winter, and we certainly haven't been outside during the summer. So I don't really have any tan color on me, and I really feel like I maybe warmed up a bit much today, but that's okay. We're going to rock with it. And so we're going to do a warm eye look too. I'm trying to, my head is always so small for these headbands, but I really love them. Yeah, now I was getting to a little tiff with that. So we're going to go ahead and we are going to start with the color Mango. It's just this nice kind of peachy pink. And we're just going to go ahead and go all over the eye with it. Some circular, some windshield motion wipers. Just kind of get this put down. And it's actually a really, really nice color. Really nice. I was going to go in with, there's a shade called Honey, and it's kind of a neutral taupe. But I decided let's just go ahead and go for Mango. Instead, let's put a little bit of color down with this. If we're going to be here, let's add a little color, shall we? So like I said, I think this palette is going to be really great for most people for that everyday palette. That really has an overall, I kind of feel like it has a southwestern, like, it probably is because of the saddle color and some of these warmer colors that they have in here. I like the palette. It doesn't have to be a holiday colors to be a holiday palette. Although if you've watched my Pat McGrath, her new Celestial palette, you would say, really? The layout to that and then the just two springy colors is what throws me off with that palette. This palette, it's warm enough to still be able to be used. I mean, you can use them whenever, but kind of a fall-time palette. But I also think that it's nice because you can transition this to a spring or summer, kind of give yourself a little bit of a bronzy look, which is kind of what we're doing today. So I think that we have buffed this out just enough. I just wanted to lay a little something down. And now we're going to go into, I'm actually going to go into Saddle. Because I already have blush on, so I'm not going to put any blush on today. So we're going to go into Saddle, and as you can see, it's just that nice, really kind of Arizona-y, New Mexico, southwestern brown color. So, yeah. So we're going to go ahead and put this on. And have it give us a little more color. We're going to kind of do, I don't want to say a halo eye, although we are bringing it into both corners, but we're not doing anything kind of quite precise or anything like that. So I guess it is essentially a halo eye, but it's not going to be super, super precise. I think this is a really, really nice color for the eye. Now, to me, I don't know if I necessarily would use it as a blush. I'm not really sure about that. I would have to, it could be okay. I think it might warm my skin up slightly too much, but it might be okay, like more so towards the summertime where you're getting like a little bit more warmth through the skin and things like that. So that's something I'll have to recheck back in on at a later date and time. But right now, I think that it's working well as an eyeshadow, because it's really just giving that warmth to the eye, because inside the palette, it really is kind of, I guess, cooler than I had anticipated after now putting this on my eye. So, yeah. So how are you guys feeling about this launch? Have you guys even been checking for ABH or Norvina? Or, I mean, I consider them the same. same brand, same entity. Have you guys been checking for them? What's the last purchase you made from them? How do you feel about this launch? I honestly, when I saw this, I thought it looks so different from the Anastasia we know now. This reminds me of the World Traveler palette that they had way back in the day. So it's almost like they were taking it back to that Anastasia. So I don't know if that was with intent, if that was intentional to kind of do that, but that's what I kind of got from this palette, was like a very kind of old school Anastasia vibes. So I don't know if the brand is either ramping up or if the brand is ramping down. They also haven't had a lot of shadow releases this year, considering, I mean, I know 2020 happened, but considering prior to that, they were really releasing on like a Colourpop schedule. So while they've had some cream bronzers, I think some liquid bronzers, things like that, they really haven't been in the shadow game. So I don't know if this was supposed to originally launch maybe last summer in 2020. I'm not quite sure. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case because of the color layout, but I don't know. So sometimes when brands, I feel like, do a little bit of nostalgia, a little bit of a throwback, it means that they're either kind of on the downturn, or it means that they're going to get ready to ramp up and kind of rebrand some things. So I'm not quite sure what's going on here, but I guess that we will find out. So now we're going to go ahead and we're just going to, I think we're going to, no, the honey I think is a little bit too warm to use as a brow bone highlight. So we're just going to leave that alone. We're just going to go directly into our shade on our eyes. I really want to use Fire Opal. Oh, these shimmers feel very, very good. I want to use Fire Opal because it's just this nice deep fire bronze, but there's also this beautiful peony pink that I think everybody's been using. And then there's also this beautiful sparkling amber. Ooh, that's pretty too. I really kind of do want to use this pink. You know what? I'm going to go with sparkling amber. I'm sorry, Fire Opal. I'm just going to go with Fire Opal. These are very soft too. I'm putting my brush into it. So usually I use my finger, but today I want to use my brush. I saw some people having some fallout, so I want to see if this can kind of, oh, that looks so nice, mitigate that. Oh my gosh. This is beautiful. These don't feel like the Anastasia shimmers that I know. These definitely feel different. These are very, very, very soft, and they're very, very, very pigmented. They almost have like a slight creaminess to them. So I don't know if all their shadow formulas have changed, but I wouldn't be surprised if they use a different formula for these shimmers, because they definitely do feel a little bit different. I really like this color. This color is very, very, very pretty. Very pretty color. I think we're going to have to go back in with our color around the edge. So we will do that in a second, but that's really nice. Yeah, these are definitely feeling different than the other Anastasia and or Nervina shimmers, but I really, really, really like that color also. Okay, let's see here. Sometimes I wish like we had 4 eyes, because some people I noticed do the one look on one eye, another look on another eye, and they'll come back and do like a third look, and I'm just like, oh, one. But if I really like one of the looks that I did on my eyes, and now I only have it on one, and then the whole wiping away, I never understand how people wipe away their eyeshadow and then come back. I'm like, I could never. I would never be able to do that. I would just make a mess of everything. So when I have, I think, maybe 1 or 2 3 looks, 1 palettes on my channel, and those were filmed over the course of a week. And then that causes you to be dedicated to a palette for a week, and then you can't do anything else. And so I don't know, I'm always kind of enamored with how people are able to do that and kind of like, very curious about that. Really, really like this shade. This shade is absolutely beautiful. I mean, gorgeous. I have a new lip gloss on today from Melt Cosmetics. It is a metallic lip gloss, which metallic lip gloss I've never known, but I really like it, and I really think that it's jiving with this look that we have going here. A little homage to warmth. So I think that we're good here, and let me look and see if I have any fallout. I don't see any fallout. So, to my eyes, I don't see any fallout. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and use our color switch. We're going to wipe this off, and we're going to go back in. We're going to lay down some of that saddle, because I think we, A, lost a little bit of it, and B, if you see the saddle, it's almost like doing a monochromatic look, which is fine with me. I just want to make sure that we are still having our matte lay down. These are really, really, really nice shadows. And I'm not saying that ABH and Ravina don't have nice shadows to begin with, but let's be real. We've been here over the years. We've known the formula changes. We've known the missteps with the shadows. So it hasn't always been great at the house of ABH, especially when it comes to the shadow section. So I'm pleasantly surprised with this. Honestly, for just that Fire Opal shade, I would have gotten this whole palette. That's how much I like that Fire Opal shade. It's just so beautiful. I can only imagine, oh my gosh, someone with a deeper complexion than me putting that on is going to be phenomenal. Phenomenal. I can just see that popping like nothing's ever popped before. Absolutely phenomenal. So we're going to go in. We are going to kind of buff out the edges, but first I want to go ahead and I want to do the lower lash line. So I kind of want to stay where we are. And so I'm going to take the color Rouge. It's just like a mid-tone brown. And we're going to put that just right along the lash line here. Right here. So I don't want anything to be too deep. They do have a beautiful color called Deep Berry in here. And it looks very pretty. And that would probably be really, really pretty if you paired it with Peony. I could see that looking really nice. There we go. Very, very nice. So we have that. Okay, and then what I want to do is I want to take this Wingos number 6 brush, and I'm just going to go in with a little bit of our saddle, like literally just a little bit. And I'm going to kind of come along here and just buff out that rouge color. Give it a good buffing out. Very nice. I wonder what the next thing from Anastasia will be. I'm wondering if they're going to drop I would assume a palette. I wonder if they're going to drop something closer to December or January. If this launch goes well. I mean, I know that you have to do makeup well in advance, but I don't know. I'm just wondering if they have something in the works, if they will plan something if this launch goes well. I don't know. I wonder if they're going to go on a slower schedule now, permanently, like kind of go back to the type of schedule they had before. Not quite sure. Okay, so now we're going to take that same brush and we're going to just buff this out. Now, usually I would use my JH30 for this, but I want it to be a little more precise with the blending out of this because these shimmers are so soft. I don't want it to end up blending away. I feel like that could end up not blending away, but blending out all of its luster, and I don't want that to happen. So just want to make sure I go over the edge really nicely. Very nice. I like that. I like that a lot. So let's go ahead and we're going to go in with the Wingos pencil brush, and this is the number 20. Now we're going to do our inner corner. Our inner corner I think we're going to do Rose Water, which is this really nice kind of champagne with pink in it. So we're going to take that and we're going to go, that's very pretty. These shimmers are really, really nice. I don't know, they're very, 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 very soft. Like, I'm just putting my brush in there and it's making like dents inside of it. So this is a very, 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 very soft formula. I know I just said that about 1,000 times. But just be careful when you put your brush inside of these shimmers, because one, you don't want to end up having a huge dent, and two, you don't want to end up getting stuff all over. Here we went slightly rogue. So we're going to put this saddle back where it belongs in the corner. Then pick up a little bit more rose water and try to keep it where we need to keep it this time. There we go. Pull it just a little bit on the bottom. Very nice. I really like that. So we are going to go. I'm going to put liner lashes on, come back, and we're going to kind of chat about the palette itself, the eye look, and then we're going to do some swatches. So give me 2.2 and I'll be right back. Hey guys, we're back. So let's go ahead and talk about everything that I did. I went to do liner and I thought that maybe black liquid liner would be a little too heavy. To be honest with you, my brown one was in my makeup closet and I just wasn't about that life getting up to go get it. So what I did was I actually used the shadows from the palette. I used the color Deep Berry on my lower lash line and on my upper lash line. So I had to get very, very tight, very, very close, especially on the lower. So I didn't want to get any powder in my eyes because that would not be good. My eyes have become sensitive and I didn't want to end up with watery eyes and ruining everything. But I think it's nice because I think you can tell that there's liner there. You can't really tell if it's a brown, if it's necessarily black, but it doesn't look like the black. But I think the berry just helps to open the brown eyes. At least when I'm looking at myself in my mirror, I think that it really does help enhance the color of the eyes and just gives it a little bit of depth without it being a brown or a really deep black. So what we also used for our regular lashes were the KVD. This is the Epic Curl. This is a lash primer. This is black. This is fantastic. This is the best lash primer I have ever used, and I did buy 2 more because it's so fantastic. For mascara, we use the Give Them a La La mascara, and I got this in a BoxyCharm, and I just really love the bullet wand. It's just so nice, and the formula isn't too liquidy and it isn't too dry. It's like you've had it for 2 weeks and it's absolutely perfect. That is all I used for that. I didn't show you guys the lip gloss, but I guess I can. It's the Melt Cosmetics, and this is in the color 1942. This is a modern metal lip gloss. This is kind of a bronze that I have on right now. I had it on when I started the video. I just want to go ahead and show it to you guys. So we used Rose Water. We used Primrose, Mango, Saddle, Deep Berry, Fire Opal, and Rouge. So we use 7 shades. Now in the palette itself, it only has 10 actual shades, and then it has 2 blushes. We use, of all that, so basically of a potential 12 shades, we use 7. So again, we used more than half the palette, so 50% of the palette is here on our eyes. I think that this is a beautiful, beautiful look. So let me get a little closer for you guys. Here's the look. How do you guys like it? What do you think about it? I really think it's a really nice look. Like I said, I'm pleasantly surprised with this palette. I didn't think that I would like it as much as I did, but I hoped I would. I certainly didn't think these shimmers were going to be the kind of shimmers that they are. Not just being soft, but being just so reflective, so beautiful, really catching the light. I really like them. Like I said, I think this is a different formula. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do some swatches. So this is the color Saddle, and this is the color that should really end up being a blush, but we used it on our lids. This is Saddle. Then we have the color, oh, let me wipe my hands off so they're dry, color Grapefruit. So this is the other blush in the palette, and we did not use this one. Now I don't know if I would necessarily use it as a blush. I would have to really check it and see, because it does look a bit light. We have the color Mango, which we used as our transition right there. We have the color Primrose, here. And this is a really, really, really nice sparkly purple. So it looks like the sparkles are in the purple. So likely if that's like with all the other millions of shadows that have that, it will buff out and it will end up just becoming a matte. This is sparkling amber. Oh, this is just, these are just so gorgeous. Look at that shimmer. Just look at that. That is beautiful. Honestly, I'd buy the palette just for the shimmers. They're just so, they're beautiful. This is the color Honey. Right there, next to that shimmer. That might be a nice transition shade. It looked like it was a little too neutral for us to use today. It's the color Rosewater. Oh, this is so pretty. This is what we use in our inner corner right here. That right there. And then we are running out of room, so we're going to go ahead and that's that again. We're going to wipe these off and we're going to do the second row. So let that dry for a second. We're going to start with Claret, which is this beautiful wine berry color. Really, really nice. There's that. Then we're going to go into Deep Berry, and this is what I use as my liner. Now this feels much grittier than the other mattes. Yeah, this is much grittier. So there's the Deep Berry. Then we have Fire Opal, and this is what we put on our lid. This is a beautiful, beautiful color. I mean, the shimmers are one swipe shimmers. One swipe shimmers. They're gorgeous. Rouge. This is a mid-tone brown. There you go. And then Peony. I think Peony is a color that most people are using on their lid, and it's just an absolute gorgeous color too. There's Peony. So that is the second row right there, guys. So like I said, it is a really nice palette. The shimmers are, I really think, exceptional. I really, really enjoyed the entire experience myself. So, like I said, let's have a little chat skis about the palette, shall we? I think overall, it's a really, really nice palette. I do like that they use 2 different versions of blushes. So that way, if you were deeper complected or you just like a deeper blush, there was something in the palette. I think I would have liked it to have been more of a, probably berry color, because not everybody's going to want that warm brown shade. And as you can see, most people think it's a bronzer because that's what it looks like, and they have a bronzer name saddle. The shades overall, I think the mattes blended beautifully. They're nice. They're mattes. They definitely do seem different also than the original ABH shadows of the mattes, in that they just blend so effortlessly. There wasn't patchiness. They weren't sticking in one area. They were really nice to blend out. So I think that they were very nice for the palette. They were very nice for the brand, and I did enjoy them. I think really the standout shades here are going to be Fire Opal, Sparkling Amber, Rosewater, and Peony. Those are the shimmer shades in this palette, and those are absolutely gorgeous. Like I said, I would purchase this palette just for those. If ABH continues to have this formula for shimmers, I can definitely see myself reinvesting in the brand because those were very nice. The caveat to that is that they're very, very soft. So whether it's your finger, your brush, even the lightest of pressing, it is going to make a dent in it. So you want to make sure that you're being gentle. These are really one swipe shimmers. So you can go in a bunch with it. You don't need to go so hard. You don't need to go so heavy-handed with it. So do be aware of that. The palette has a bit of powder in it, but I didn't see any fall out on my face. So again, being gentle, taking the minimal amount, building it up instead of wanting to pop right when you come out of the gate, I think is going to be the best way for you to do it. $55. I think $55 is a bit too much for this palette, to be quite honest with you. I think this palette between $35 and $39 would have been more appropriate. I think $55 is a little too high, and I'm assuming when this palette inevitably goes on sale, probably over the holidays or shortly thereafter, it'd probably be at about $40 or something like that. I think 55 was just a little bit too much, although I did appreciate what they did with the packaging and trying to make cardboard look and feel luxe. I really, really did appreciate that. I appreciated all the effort that went into this, or that appears to have gone into this, and it made it an enjoyable experience. But the price, I think, could be a little bit lower. The deeper blush could have been a little bit different. They could have added a third one in here and that would have been fine, like a berry blush, and then having Saddle, which could have been a blush and or bronzer, and they could have had the lighter blush. And then I really think that I wouldn't be opposed with this formula to Anastasia coming out with a full shimmer palette. I'd be here for it. I'd totally do it because these were absolutely gorgeous shimmers. I thought the colors that they chose were beautiful, complementary of the mattes in this palette and probably the mattes that you have in your collection. And I can't wait to actually use this palette again because I really want to do a pink look. So I'm excited to do the look again and play with the palette a little bit more. So tell me, what do you guys think about the palette? What do you think about the brand? Are you going to pick it up? Did it perform differently than you thought it would perform? Let me know a little bit about what you're thinking down in the comment section. I will leave this linked in the information section in case you want to go and check it out. You can do so. And guys, I just really appreciate you guys being here with me. So if you enjoyed this video, please give me 2 very enthusiastic thumbs up, not 1, but 2. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you can be notified of all my new videos, and so that way you do not miss a single one. And if you haven't already, head on over to Instagram, follow me there so you can see what I do when I'm not here with you on the YouTubes, especially because we have spooky season, fall season, holiday season, turkey season. If you live here on the East Coast, Wawa, the turkey gobblers, are probably going to be out in the next 2 weeks, and your girl's here for it. I am ready for turkey gobbler season. So, guys, I love you. I'll miss you. I can't wait to see you next time, and I will see you on the flip side. I love you guys. Bye.